Hey, Gav. Where's Freelancer? They should be here soon, but they said there was a fender bender on 27th and it's turned the street into a parking lot. Where's Huxley? Working late. He can't make the movie, but he's gonna meet us all for dinner afterward. We were able to get a straight answer out of Laskow explaining why he couldn't make it. No. His voice jumped an octave and he just kept saying he already had plans, but wouldn't say what the plans were. Freelancer got something similar. He mentioned something about a coworker with me, but then immediately backtracked and launched into a tangent. For the sake of his blood pressure, I didn't push for more detail. So, we think Lasko's got a crush? Going on a date? That or he's hiding a body. I haven't heard him that flustered in almost 2 years. Well, for the sake of avoiding being dragged into court as a character witness, let's assume the former. Odd twist of fate that leaves the two of us, of all people, stuck together. How do you figure? Oh, you and I just usually operate best when there's a buffer between us. Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I've made it through 2 whole Friendsgivings stuck in a kitchen with you, and we both made it out alive. I think that's more of a testament to my ability to dodge incoming projectiles. Well, the rolls aren't aerodynamic enough. I can't get enough speed behind them. You and I get along just fine. Huxley seems to think threats are a way that I express love. Oh, well, maybe I should just propose now. If you love me that much, smartass. Can I ask you a question? You can ask me anything, Damien. Ask nicely enough, and I might even consider answering. Very funny. Huxley and I have a bet going. Is this my Pygmalion moment? Are you both vying to whisk me away to a life in the upper echelon, far away from my provincial beginnings, but all of it built on a deception that I'll conveniently forgive you for in the final act in service of a happy ending? What? Oh, what's the matter? Did I throw your train of thought off the tracks when you heard the words, happy ending, come from these full lips? You're ridiculous. You should try it sometime. It's fun. What's the question? How old are you? Oh, don't you know it's improper to ask a beauty their age? Well, good thing I'm not asking a beauty. I'm asking a beautiful shithead. You've always been the fun one, Damien. I've been called a lot of things, but fun isn't usually one of them. Then you've been asking the wrong people. I haven't been asking anyone, and I plan to keep it that way. Now, do you care to answer the question? Arya doesn't operate on a Gregorian calendar. I mean, I might have to get out a slide rule to run the numbers. You're being obtuse. Would you prefer I was acute, Evan? I stepped out of the Elysian Well in 19... Gavin. 90. Ha! I knew it. Knew what? I knew you were around our age. Hux was convinced you were around in the Renaissance or something. On account of my incredible wisdom and worldliness, right? Sure. Laskow was a little more conservative, but he still figured you were pushing 100. 1920s. Well, I get points for knowing how to party, but The men's wardrobe of the period is so boring. I mean, at least go far enough back to get me into something more interesting than a plain suit. How long have you three been trying to figure this out? Since we met you. And none of you thought to ask Freelancer. They've known for as long as we've been together. What's more improper, asking a beauty their age or asking their partner their age behind their back? I guess it would depend on if you had any interest in propriety. I've always preferred being blunt. Gets you where you want to go a lot faster. And that is why you're the fun one. If you say so. How's the studying been going? Wait, no, you must have already taken it by now. Do you have your results? Did you get the certification exemption? I haven't taken it yet. Why? Did something happen? It was delayed by the proctor. Why? It doesn't matter. It's scheduled for next week, which just means more time to study. Not that I particularly need it. I was more worried about Alasko's final than that one, honestly. Professor Moore runs a very tight ship. If you keep staring at me that intently, people might get the wrong idea about us, Wildfire. Especially with our partners stuck across town. We don't want to start a scandal now, do we? Why was it delayed? Does it matter? I don't need to be a demon to have a grasp on other people's emotions, Gavin. I get that you and I aren't the closest in our group of friends, but I do know you. And I can tell when you're uncomfortable, much as you might like to hide it. Me mentioning the exam upset you. Why? It wasn't delayed for everyone. It was delayed for me. Why just you? Because I'm a problem. Says who? Said the exam proctor. Why? Because I'm an incubus, Damien. What does that have to do with anything? According to the exam proctor, my presence was going to be a distraction to my fellow test takers. That they couldn't be expected to focus on their exams if they had to worry about me trying to feed on their emotions throughout. I explained that was in no way the case. I was assured in turn that it was in no way personal, and that they'd gladly reschedule my exam for a time when it could be administered privately with a proctor from the Corsair School. What did you say? I let them. Why? Because it's more important to me to get my certification than to risk losing my chance at it over one stuck-up administrator. Gavin, this isn't okay. It's fucking discriminatory. Well, they refrained from using the word feeder to my face, That was an improvement over my previous foray into education at the academy. So I'll take my small blessings where I get them.
Gav!
It's already done, Damien. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last.
Who was it?
Damien,
Who was it?
I've got this.
Gavin, this is wrong. And there's a lot of shit in this world that's wrong that we can't do much about, but this literally goes against the codes of conduct that this place loves to wave like some flag of superiority while they preach about tolerance. We can do something about this. We need to. It's wrong. We'll run it up as high as it needs to go to get something done.
Damien.
Lasco's on the administrative board. He can keep an eye out for the complaint so we know it doesn't get shoved to the bottom of the pile like they love to do with this kind of shit. And I can ask Ashley to keep tabs on it too. She's my admin sponsor that helped greenlight the Human Born Support Group. And then
Damien.
What?
I appreciate that you care so much about this. It means a lot. Truly, I mean that. But at this point, I just want to jump through this one last hoop, get my certification, and then forget about it. I don't want to give it that kind of power over my head.
Gav, this is an abuse of power. Being reinforced because they think their bullshit views are universal enough to insulate them from reprisal. They need to know that they're not. That they can't get away with this shit. I would never claim to know what it's like to try to go through the academy system as a demon. I know you don't talk about it much with us, but even what little you've said is fucking... It's wrong. That Proctor doesn't deserve to get away with this shit. To think this is okay, to keep treating people like this. And this fucking academy has no right to keep talking out their ass about being a welcoming, supportive environment if they can't keep their own staff in line. There's no place for that kind of abuse anywhere, but least of all in a place of education, one that acts as the arbiter of attaining certifications that dictate the course of the rest of your life.
I just need the piece of paper. Once I have it, I can think about starting a fight. I'm not risking it until then.
If that's how you want to do it, I respect that. I don't get to tell you what to do, but I'm also not going to pretend that I don't want you to fight this. Because you deserve better. And I'll support you in every way I can. I have railed against this academy's bullshit since damn near the day I stepped foot on campus. I know. It's fucking exhausting. And draining. And most of the time it feels like you are screaming at a wall. But I've gotten pretty good at screaming at walls. And if you do this, I'll do whatever I can to make them listen.
You always have had one hell of a moral compass.
Hey, I don't just care about it as a morally wrong action for the sake of it. I care about you. You're my friend. A good one. And my friend is hurting and I can do something about it. So I'm going to.
I know. I didn't mean to imply otherwise. I care about you too, Damien.
Did you tell Freelancer about this?
Yes. They knew something was wrong the second I got home.
What did they say?
They've already helped me draft the complaint. I had to edit out a few of their more colorful turns of phrase for the sake of professionalism, but...
Well, I can't judge. I'm not exactly a saint in the vocab department either.
Tends to happen when it's something we care about. Come here. Keep this up and you're gonna ruin your reputation for hating hugs. Shut up. Yes, sir. I don't actually hate hugs. Then why do you say that you do? I hate the way people usually act when they hug me. How do they act? Like they're hugging an oven with the door open. After one too many times of being told that you feel gross, it's easier to just say you don't like being touched. I don't think you feel gross. Thanks. Oh. Freelancer's just parked. Which is good, because at this point, we're gonna be cutting it close to catch the movie.
They run trailers for the first 10 minutes anyway. We'll be fine. As long as I get popcorn that's drowning in butter, I'm good.
Health nut that you are. You like that yellow horror show they try to pass off as butter? Duality of man. Sue me. No, thank you. The thought of going against you in a legislative scenario is more than a little terrifying.
Better keep me on your side then, huh?
Noted.
She doesn't forgive him, by the way.
Who?
Eliza. She doesn't forgive Higgins at the end of Pygmalion. They don't get together, that's the whole point.
Never seen it.
You pull out a reference like Pygmalion, but have never even seen it? Have you at least seen My Fair Lady?
What an odd way to refer to Huxley.
You fucking shithead.
Oh my god.
Just in time, Freelancer. By all means, please come get your man before I kill him in front of this movie theater.